Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Poppin Off. I am your host, Petey Popoff. How's everybody doing out there, huh? We doing all right? Good, good. I'm glad everybody's tuning in. If you're not, that's on you. Don't care. So I gotta kind of like censor myself a little bit, right? Because I'm on the TikTok. I gotta scale it back a little bit, right? When I'm doing my podcast on Apple, Spotify, shit like that, right? Like I can go off the chain the way I want to. But since we're on the TikTok, I got to scale it back. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about ice. We're going to talk about some oral. And we're going to talk about order. All right. Now, for the people in the back that don't understand, the lady that was dispatched with extreme prejudice, she got what she deserved. Hey, you get what you get. I'm sorry. I don't feel sympathetic, right? New camera footage has come out and it shows that she clearly was trying to hit the guy. She was clearly trying to hit the agent. Now, let me break this down for you. This is where the order comes into play. That ICE agent is a federal agent, right? You have to obey them. Well, let me rephrase that. You don't have to do anything, right? You are a free sovereign citizen. You are a free person. You don't have to do anything on God's green earth that you don't want to do. But understand, there are consequences. So with that being said, you didn't want to stop your vehicle after he told you to. Okay. Now you are a suspect. You're fleeing. But then to make matters worse, you try to drive through the guy. Whether or not that was her intent, I don't know. I'm not her, right? I can only see what the camera shows. And the camera shows that she drove at him, actually hit him. He had to sidestep out of the way. So, the way I look at it, she shouldn't have done what she did and she wouldn't have. Bingo, mic check. Mic check 100%. I That's what I'm getting at, right? If an officer, if an agent tells you to stop, you stop, right? That's called obeying the rules. Now, if you don't want to stop, that's fine, but there's consequences, right? Every action has a consequence, right? Effect and causation, causation and effect. She got shot. And I'm sorry, if I'm the officer, this is how it's going down. If you don't value my life to the point where you're driving a vehicle towards me, whether or not it hits me or not, you're driving towards me, I'm dumping the clip on you too. I don't give a shit. It's that simple, right? But there's always the delusion and the brainwash that, oh, well, they weren't even driving. They didn't even hit them. Okay, so you're supposed to wait for the guy to get hit to take proactive measures? Like, do you guys hear how fucking stupid you sound? Look, at the end of the day, Mike Check said it best. She shouldn't have done what she was doing, and she wouldn't be dispatched. It's that simple, man. Um, it brings me back to how children behave. It makes me think of children. A child is going to do what they want to do, right? Because they have no discipline, they have no order, right? As an adult, it's your responsibility to teach that children discipline and order and the way things work. The way things work, they they work for a reason, right? Because it maintains order. Without order, there is chaos. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, generally order comes from chaos, right? It's a healthy balance of both. And what we are seeing right now is order from chaos. For the past, I don't know, 4, 8, 12, 16, we'll say 12, 16 years, it has been a free for all of chaos of people doing what they feel they are entitled to do. And that is not the way the world operates. Just because you feel entitled to do something does not make it okay for you to do it, right? It's called being an adult. It's called not being a child, which is exactly the opposite of being, or excuse me, which is exactly what I just said as being an adult. So with that being said, act like an adult, man. If a cop, an agent tells you not to do something, you listen. You fucking listen. All right? Are they going to sometimes push your liberties? Push your freedoms? Absolutely. But it is not your job to stand there and argue with them in the moment. Because guess what, Dodo? They're going to win. They're going to win. 10 times out of 10, they're going to win. A cop, an agent, whatever the case may be, they're not there to fucking argue with you. They are there to collect money. It's that simple. For anybody that doesn't realize it, if a cop comes to your property and there's signs that say no trespassing, right? You can bark at them all you want. Hey, get the fuck out of here. There's no trespassing. Yeah. And you know what? You're absolutely 100% right. But then that cop is also going to find other things. They're going to find other things, right? And the best way to do it is, hey, do what you got to do, man. Write the ticket, handcuff me, do what you got to do. And then you go to court and you figure it out. I can assure you, I have quite a few friends that are on the force. They don't care about what you have to say. They don't give a shit. Their main objective is to make it home that night by hell or high water. Let that sink in. Their main objective is to do their job and make it home that night. And their job is to make money, whether by issuance of tickets, citations, or arrests. Now, if you feel that you don't owe that money by not doing something wrong, I didn't do this, I wasn't speeding, I didn't break the law. Okay, well, you're not there to argue with the cops, and they're not there to argue with you. They're going to give you the ticket, and then you go to court, and then you figure it out. Like, I tried telling people this, and they don't listen. They just make life harder on themselves. Thank you, Mike Check. You've definitely barked cops off your property. And you're right. You're right. I said it. It only works when you're 100% right. But listen, don't get it twisted. You're going to have the cops, you're going to have agents that are not going to follow procedures, right? They're just not. Your job then is to document it and make sure you have proof that they're not following procedures. Make sure you have proof that they're taking liberties, right? And then once you know you've got them, follow the rules, right? Like, all right, hey, whatever, man. It's common sense, right? This cop broke their rules to infringe on your rights. You dig what I'm saying? So that should tell you that they're going to break even more rules to make sure that they get you. You're going to lose. In that immediate moment, you're going to lose. So you know what? Take the loss. Take the loss. And then win the battle. Right? Or excuse me, and then win the war. You're going to lose that battle, but in the long scheme, you could win the war. Just document it. Take it to court. Fight for your rights. Now, in this situation, the lady lost the battle and she lost the war. Right? It's that simple. Renee lost the battle and she lost the war because she's stupid. She's absolutely stupid. All you had to do was A, not be out there obstructing people, right? But if you felt the need to go out there and protest, that's fine as long as you're not obstructing. You can't obstruct agents. You can't obstruct police officers. Even if you are protesting, you cannot do that. And that's what you were doing. Now let's go to B. We can argue about that all day long until the sun comes up. But let's go to B. B. So you are obstructing and you're not getting pulled out of your car, you're not getting arrested. But the officer, the agent says, "Step out of the car." You say no. And then you gas the car. You don't take off slowly, you gun it. It's right there in the video. You can see the wheel spinning. You gun it. And not only do you gun it, but you gun it in his direction. We're just dealing with the facts, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with the facts. We're not saying, I'm not going to say that she aimed the car at him, even though I have my own personal beliefs. What we will say is she gunned it in his direction, so much so that the new video shows that he got hit and had to leap out of the way. Right? You draw your own conclusions. Well, now you've escalated it to fucking, we're past B and C. Now we're at D. Now you are a threat. You are driving a, well, it was an SUV, so we'll say 2-ton, if not more, missile at an agent. Hey, you get what you fucking get. I don't have remorse, and the reason why I don't have remorse or sympathy, like, yeah, is it sad she has kids? Absolutely. Guess what? People get taken out all the time, dude. Right? I don't have remorse or sympathy because it was her own stupid actions. And that's the problem with mental illness. She was clearly mentally unwell, clearly, because rational people do not do that type of shit. Where I'm from, if an officer pulls you over, right, you don't speed off on him. If an officer tells you to step out of the car, you don't speed off on him. And you damn sure don't speed off on them in their direction without expecting some type of repercussion. So in my mind, she knew, okay, it's going down. I don't know if she thought she was going to be a martyr or whatever the case was. Either way, she looks stupid. You get no sympathy. You get what you got. Off you go on to the next one. Now, the other point I want to bring up is her boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever that fucking thing was that said to her, go, go, go. She should be charged as well. And I say it's a she because it was clearly a woman that thought it was a guy, whatever. That's its own fucking mental illness. But she should be charged as well. And the reason I say she should be charged as well is because in the video, you clearly hear her saying, go, 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 get out of here. The woman I'm talking about is the one that was popping shit to the officer when the officer did the 360 around the vehicle. And she goes, yeah, we're going to be here all day. You better go get your lunch, big guy. That one. Because and here's why. The lady, Renee, was shot for committing a crime. That is the defense. That's why nobody's been charged in her shooting, right? That's the defense. The lady that was telling her to go, go, go is an accomplice. And the reason I say that, follow me here, is if I go rob a bank, and let's say Mike Check is driving the car. Now, even though Mike Check isn't the one who went in and robbed the bank, right? He gets charged. He's an accomplice. He was the getaway driver. Maybe that's a little bit too direct. Let's put it this way. Let's say Mike Check gives me the blueprints to the bank. Let's say Mike Check says, hey, Pete, Pop Off, guess what? This bank's going to be unattended, right? Mike's still an accomplice. He was a co-conspirator. So I think that other fucking crazy lady that thinks it's a guy should be charged as well as a co-conspirator for rooting on Renee Young to flee the scene when an officer or agent, whatever you want to call them, has already given her directives to step out of the car. You people are going to learn. You motherfucking people are going to learn, dude. There are rules, there are laws, there are things in order for a reason. Right? They're not there just to inconvenience your life. They are there for a reason. Okay? Now, I've had to learn this lesson the hard way. Let me give you guys a little anecdote, a little anecdote, a real life one. Back in the day, we had a good friend. There was 4 of us. We had a good friend who was growing some vegetables, we'll say. He was growing some vegetables. Well, 2 of our friends had a plan hatched out. They wanted those tomato plants. I didn't know they wanted tomato plants. But they were asking me questions about it, and I was willingly just giving the information up. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to be at football this time. We're going to be at football this time. Well, what happens? Those two friends go and take his tomato plants. I instantly knew. It was just a situation of convenience, and I don't believe in coincidence. What can I say? I had a direct hand in it. And negligence is not an excuse. I was unaware of what their schemes were, but I was still negligent, right? I should have just kept my mouth shut. At the end of the day, I think that says more about those other two friends than it does me. But at the end of the day, I had to humble myself and assume my responsibility and try to make an amends. Like, yeah, dude, I had a hand in it, man, and I'm sorry. And what makes it worse is once I got confirmation, right, they gave me a few tomato plants to shut my mouth, and I did. So now I'm definitely implicated. I'm definitely implicated, right? It's no different. I was implicated. I was now an accomplice because I took those tomato plants. And that's what I'm saying about this broad. This broad was not only implicated in the fact that she gave this lady directives to go, 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 right? If Renee didn't go, 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 there would be nothing to worry about. But Renee did go, 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 and she almost hit that officer. And because of that, her life was taken. So now you are directly implicated and you should be charged as such. You should be charged with manslaughter, if you want my honest opinion. Because if you weren't rooting and cheerleading Renee Young on to go, go, go and hit that officer, Renee very well might still be here. She probably would be already let out on bail with a citation ticket, right? That's where I'm from. That's the school of thought I'm coming from. But now let's get off of that. Let's go on to the oral, to the Earl, to the oral. Pause. Let's go on to the oil. Oh, Trump's going and he's taking over Venezuela. Nah, dude. Trump went and took over Venezuela. That's mine. Give me it. Hey, people don't quite understand. There's more moving parts and things behind the scenes than what you see on the news or what you see on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. There's more going on than what meets the eye. And plain and simple, if you knew anything, you would know that Russia and China have weapon systems and have other information and technology systems in Venezuela. Why? Because Venezuela has trade deals set up with those two countries. Why? Because they rely on Venezuela's oil. Why? Because Venezuela doesn't have EPA and other regulations, so they can just harvest that oil and give it out with lower prices, right? This is an economical strategy. Not only that, but it's a protective strategy because now Russia and China, they have no interests in Venezuela. You know why? Because we blew that shit up. You ain't got no weapons, you ain't got no information or technologies. Off you go, get out. And then for Trump to say, we're running the country now, people, I think, miss that. And if they didn't miss it, I don't think they quite understand the implications. When Trump says, we're running this country now, he is effectively telling you the United States has seized Venezuela. This is ours. And that is a very big wake up call to Greenland, to Mexico, to Colombia, and to other surrounding nations. And I see the play, man. I love the play. What's up? My name's Peter. I see you, boy. Get back to bed. Why, though? Why is that a big play? Because we are already starting the encroachment into Latin America, into South America. And, people might say I'm being crazy or I'm just being a bully. Hey, you say what you want, dude. I like it. Take it all over, right? Too many Indians, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, man. Take it all over, dude. There would be nothing better than to just see North America, South America combined as one as the United Americas. That'd be great. And then we control the whole entire Western Hemisphere from Canada all the way on down to South America. And I think that is the bigger play at hand. That would make the economy 10 times stronger. Resources would never run out. You would never have to do trade deals with anybody over on the East ever again. Ever again. Your military would be stronger, right? And I don't think people quite see the play. And maybe I'm being wildly inaccurate. Maybe I'm seeing way too much of the play in my own delusion, but I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I I really like that we now have control of Venezuela. I like that the people of Venezuela are happy. And the fact is the people in Venezuela were coming over to America in caravans. Caravans to escape this regime. Well, what better way to do it, right? They already want to be American. They're already escaping to come to America. What is a better opportunity than to just take them over? Hey, you don't got to come to America. We're just going to be your new government, and we're going to make it as good as America is. We'll get this fucking dictator out of here. We'll put in a new regime. You'll be safe. You'll share our economy, right? And you guys can now continue to prosper. You know why you'll continue to prosper? Excuse me. You know why you'll start to prosper? Because now you have the American machine behind you. It's like music, right? It's like going from being on an independent label to being a part of goddamn Interscope. You have an entire machine behind you now. But the rule is you got to play by the rules. That's the rule. You got to play by our rules, right? You got to listen to what we're telling you. You got to do what we're telling you. And it's not that big of a stretch, man. These people already wanted to be American. That's why they were fleeing in droves. Now, what I will say is it's all a bunch of hypocrisy, because when they were fleeing in droves, right, the Republican side would say, "Oh, they're rapists and they're murderers and they're bad people." No, not all of them. Not all of them. I'm sure a lot of them are. I'm sure a lot of them were. But you have that in any crowd, right? I'm sure a lot of them were just good people trying to make it in life, the same as you and me and everybody else. You're just trying to go with the ebbs and flows of life. You're just trying to make it. You're just trying to be a good person. You're trying to prosper for your family. And you know that coming to America, you have that opportunity as long as you play by the rules. So I do see the hypocrisy. I don't want anybody to think that I don't see the hypocrisy. That's the one thing, is I'm very authentic. I'm very real about it. I see the hypocrisy on both sides. It just so happens that I like one of the other sides more than the other. I don't like everything they do. I used to like the other side quite a bit. And then somewhere along the line, they got off the rails, man. And they went crazy, started dyeing their hair blue and pink and started acting fucking crazy. I don't get it. And, in closing, what I'll say is it's about order, man. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. It's all about order. There's got to be order to chaos. There just has to be. There's no other way around it. You know, Anarchy and chaos can only sustain itself for so long, but the vast majority of people don't want that. The vast majority of people want to pursue a life that's better for them, that's better for their family. They want the finer things in life. They want to go and work a job. They want to have that sense of pride that, hey, I went out, I slaved and paved all day, but I earned my keep. I contributed to society, I paid my taxes, and now I'm going home. I'm going to hang out with my family, or I'm going to go and play Arc Raiders, or I'm going to go to the gym, right? The vast majority of people, that's what they want to do. They want to be a contributing player to the team. It's really only the outliers. And I say that because I have my own personal experience. Listen, I've been one of the outliers on milking the system for welfare, food stamps, Medicaid. Yes, I have done that. I am no better. But then something clicked and I said, damn, dude, I'm capable of so much more. I'm capable of so much better. This is a miserable existence. And what clicked was is I don't like being told what to do, and that's it in a nutshell. I don't like being told what to do to have simple liberties that I can take control of. Now, granted, there's some things that I don't like being told what to do and I have to do them. But for instance, in order to receive welfare, I got to go to workforce. I go to workforce, I got to see somebody I don't like doing stuff that I don't like to get peanuts to just survive. Well, why don't I go do something that I do like around people that I do like to make a few bags of peanuts? Hard to milk it as a single man. 150 a month plus 290. No, you're absolutely right. It's not. And it's not supposed to be. And I know that might sound harsh, but that's the truth of the matter. Food stamps, welfare, things like that. They're not there for people to live opulent. They're there to survive. They're there to help you survive. And that's really the gist of it. Yeah, and a lot of people do, Mike Check. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I know people that have literally had 7 to 8 kids because A, they get more in benefits, and then B, they get nice tax returns. And then the shameful part about it is some of them don't even work, but they still get that tax credit and they still get free daycare. It's kind of crazy, dude. And I don't agree with any of it. Not one single bit of it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the talk radio today. I'm probably going to be doing these, I don't know, once a week or whatever. And if they do, they don't need to work. If they do, they lose. Yeah, 100%. Mike, yeah, you're not wrong. That's what I'm saying. It's something that's fundamentally wrong with the system. But it's not all the system's fault, man. Right? The system is not at fault because intuitively and innately, people are going to try to find shortcuts. Right? So when people have figured out how to game the system, and when people have figured out the loopholes and the shortcuts of the system, they're going to take it. I mean, that's just what it is. Now, once you fix the system, are they going to find more shortcuts? Absolutely. That's just the name of the game, right? But the trick is to make the system not necessarily impenetrable, but so that any shortcut they take is still going to yield shitty results to the point where people now have an ultimatum to make. Any shortcut they take yields a shitty result. You know what? I should probably try to better myself because I don't want anybody to think that they're in competition with anybody. The only person that you are in competition with is yourself. Understand that. I don't care if you see somebody driving a Ferrari. I don't care if you're driving a Pinto, right? The world needs ditch diggers. Some people, they just don't got it. And that's not their fault. That's just the cards that they were dealt. The trick is to be smart enough to play the hands you were dealt and to make it. And also, be real. Not everybody is a fucking NASA scientist. Not everybody is an algebra whiz. Like I said, some people are just ditch diggers and rock breakers. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, man. It's honest pay. Go earn your keep. Go get it done. But the system also needs a little revamping so that the rock breakers and ditch diggers can live happy as well. I mean, it's just how it is. You don't got to like it. I didn't make the rules. I'm just here to tell you what it is. I didn't make the rules, man. I'm just here to tell you fucks how it is. So with that being said, hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate the gifts. I'll probably be doing these little episodes. I don't know, once every week, once or twice a week. You can check me out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. I'm all over. You know what I mean? We haven't renewed our Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. I'm all over. You know what I mean? We haven't renewed our Apple Podcast. I'm all over. You know what I mean? We haven't renewed our Apple Podcast